Good morning, good morning. So on my end, it's about 2 in the morning, and I'm out. I'm out here. I'm recording, and I just let me tell you what I got going on. I wish you could see. I wish there was a way I could turn this around, but I am over here. I have my little candle going, and then I have my cool coffee click. It's the tea, hot tea, mixed fruit, organic. So I guess the way Courtney Adelaide, the founder of Obali, the way she did this, product, my tea is brewing. Don't let me forget it this time. But the way she did this product is where it's tea, but it's also packed with vitamins and nutrients. It's like healthy, but it's good. It's gourmet. So I did that because I have something to say. So I woke up just now and my body wanted to purge itself. And I'm saying this because it's a identity thing. Um, I am here for you. I am an influencer. That's my identity. But for some reason, it's so hard for me to accept that identity. And what Spirit woke me up saying is that with every interaction, why I find difficulty is because I am not fully embracing this new identity. Now, I live where the trains are, so I'm going to pause this for a second. So, I live where the train passes in the back of my house, and it's absolutely beautiful. I like it. I really do. It doesn't bother me, but I try to be mindful when I'm recording because sometimes it can get really, really loud, and I don't want to seem like I'm screaming. And I should actually be checking these videos to see that the audio is okay because I haven't been using any microphone or amplification, which I do have and I can use if it's needed. So if you have a hard time hearing me, just leave a message in the comments in the chat and let me know if my audio has been coming through. But you see me, I'm all raw, right? Sipping on my coffee, cool coffee click by Obly. Um, if you want to have some and coffee and chat and coffee or tea and chat with me, um, my links are to the bottom in the description. If you want to make a little extra money and be part of my team, I will warmly welcome you to join. It's a direct sales. It's black owned, and it's like what I call it 2.0 Mary Kay because I think it's gonna be the future of health and wellness. Um, anyway, that's not why I came on. I'm not trying to sell you, but I just have to inform you of all the things that I'm doing. Um, I came on to talk to you about something that just woke me out of my sleep, literally. And it was a purging and a birthing of telling me you are in a different identity and you at the point where like spirit's been cueing and suggesting and basically sick and tired that I have not picked up the suggestions. So now I it's just like smack, some people it just need to be smack dead in front of them what they need to do because they're just not getting the cues. Well, spirit told me that I was that person and I was not picking up on the cues as to what I need to do because mm, it's not that I don't fully know who I am. Like, and people say it like, oh, know yourself. Like, you're supposed to know like you, who you are today is who you are. But we are on this journey, and we are unraveling and remembering who we are, what our purpose is, what we came here for. So it's not a constant thing. It's not a thing that one day somebody wakes up and they know exactly who they are. And if they do, then they're behind, because every day, every moment you're growing, right? And you're revealing to yourself through life who you really are. And it's a journey and it's a process and it's fun, right? But what Spirit was telling me is that I am over here, and I am speaking, I am making, like, literally, I am manifesting and generating deals of the future. This is like, so back in the day, let me explain. Back in the day, the way things worked, right? I'll take Mr. Disney, since I've been picking on him for a while. I live close to Orlando, so I have to talk about Mr. Disney. So back in the day, the way things worked is somebody would, you have a story, everybody liked the story. And during the story, you would have highs and lows and ups and downs. And at the end of it, that protagonist figures out how to make their dreams come through. And then fast forward, you get to see, within a movie, you get to see the beginning, middle, and the end. And when it's over, you can go back and tell it all again. That's my Sesame Street. Sorry, I'm dating myself. Sorry, Gen Zs, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you watch Sesame Street, that's how we learn what a story is. So back in the day, what you would have is these amazing people, and they would go out and they would do amazing things. And then one day, there would be somebody who would actually, pick up on their story and blow them up, meaning they would give attention to them, but their attention, they're called, like, if they're a singer or an actor, they'll say, oh, they got discovered, right? And what that means is that somebody of influence, um who most times the world didn't even know, but somebody of influence put attention onto this person and their story and what they did and what they accomplished and what they achieved, and then the world caught onto it. So, what Spirit told me is that we are no longer in that season where people are being discovered. Um, and we are in a season where people could literally discover themselves if they would only turn the camera on, if they would share, if they would go through the awkwardness of nobody's watching my content, nobody cares, I am a nobody, nobody wants to know what I have to say, or the people in my group don't agree with my thoughts, right? Spirit told me that um, there's a lot of people doing amazing things, but they won't turn the camera on. So what I am an influencer, but I'm an influencer of kingdom activity. And I'll explain to you. So whether you are religious, you coming from a religious background or Christian background, all of that, none of it matters, right? Because what the Spirit told me is, I am, so let me just back it up a little bit. So going back to Mr. Disney, because sometimes, I get in my head and I'm well excited to tell you what's going on, and I did not explain myself well. So going back to Mr. Disney, so back in the day when he was going through his ups and downs, his challenges, there was no camera, there was nobody. He was nobody. He wasn't anybody until he did what he did. And then now, the world honors him and the world celebrates him, and they want to make sure that we're not just saying Disney, but we say Walt Disney, right? Because they want to remember the man who had the imagination. But in reality, it don't matter. The man is gone. Like, it's amazing that what he's done is like such a big thing right now, but the majority of his life he he had to live in resonance of this idea, this very very profound, might I even say spiritual idea. He had to live with it, and nobody knew about him until it became something. and what Spirit told me is that was the way of the past. Every story has been told where it gets told after, where the fame comes after. Actually, a lot of these people who made a lot of money, Michael Jackson, Kobe Bryant, a lot of them, if you really do the research, their wealth came after they died. Bob Marley, their notoriety came after they died. And why I'm sharing this, and it's in my spirit to say this, is because the old way of life, um, the old energies in life was an energy of death. It was an energy where it takes somebody to die for something to happen. And it sounds terrible. But if you really think about it, right? A lot of the times, you're walking on the street and you say, they need a traffic light here, or they need to make this, a pavement, or they need to make this. And it literally takes somebody to die in order for something to happen. Um, Example, George Floyd. It took, when that man died, that man, there are black men who have died before. There are black men who have been dying, right? But when George Floyd died, and it was on public camera, right? And it viraled out for the world to see. Look how much awareness and attention of diversity, equity, and inclusion have sprung since the public death of that man. And so, what the Spirit told me is that the old way of life, the old system that we are journeying out of, is all about that death. And things are only important when the entire system is moved and promoted and prompted by death. But this new way, the world peace that is coming, the new way of life, the heaven on earth that is coming, is not, you know, Jesus Christ say, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So as a light bearer, I bring life. And as a light bearer, ushering a new world in, right? This peaceful world that I am ushering in. I am one of the many people fiercely ushering this new world in. I am an influencer of the future, and an influencer of the future doesn't wait to, so I don't need to wait to see the vision unfold. I don't need to wait to see the money raised and the building built and the people come in to enjoy it, to then go back and find out what was the beginning, middle, end of this person's story, and then pay them homage after they die. That's a very, very old world thinking. And what Spirit told me as I woke up and I purged this old death thought way of working cycle, what Spirit told me is that I am a continuation of Oprah Winfrey. So what Oprah did, Oprah, you know, she she interviewed all these people and brought attention to who they are and the value they were bringing to life while they were alive. So usually people would be nobody and they would go on the Oprah Winfrey show and they would blow up. For me, I know like some of these people like Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, even though these people are highly, uh, Abraham Hicks, like all these people, they are highly, highly sought out, skilled practitioners, but no one knew of them. And according to the old way of life, nobody would have known about them because their identity was hidden in obscurity because the old way, the old system of life promoted death. So what Oprah did, she's light worker, she brought this new kingdom way of news reporting. And there wasn't really a word, people call it a talk show. But what they didn't realize is that she was a newswoman. She was a news reporter. And what God did is that God turned her from being a news reporter of the old system and brought her forth to be a news reporter of the kingdom, of the new way. And she blew up. She's still blown up, and peace be with her, you know, because of the system we live in, because it's such a debt system. While people are alive, that have done great things, um, they get the duality of life. So they get people who love them and think they're awesome, and they get people who hate them and think they're the worst thing out, and they have a plot against humanity. They get the duality of life. And God gives them peace because it's kingdom work. But what she did, she didn't, the way of before, the way of reporting on a death cycle, all these people that she interviewed and she brought and she gave them a platform, a voice, and brought attention to what they were doing, um, the world would not have benefited. On the opposite, if she was working on a death cycle, because a lot of what they have to say and who they are, I think about Dr. Michael Beckwith, they needed the attention while they're alive because the kingdom, the universe, the heavenly forces work within the present for humanity. And what these people are doing right now, healing humanity, it has to be in the now, it has to be in the present. And what Spirit told me is that why I woke up this morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, no makeup, talking to you, drinking my cool coffee click tea, is that I, my role, my identity, I need to hold space for it because when I fully hold space for my identity and realize that this platform is profound, spiritual, like this is a profound spiritual journey, and it's not for me, it's for you, it's for your children, your future. Um, it's just, I woke up and Spirit said that you promised me to do something. You promised me that you would share your journey, and you haven't been sharing your journey because you don't believe in this identity. You don't understand how important this identity as the holistic nurse, as the birther of a new dimension of wellness and healthcare. You don't understand how that is being done in real time. And I need you to take I need to take you, dear viewer, you with me on this journey. You're a part of this journey with me, and the experiences that I have experienced this week, you were supposed to be part of. So I'll just tell you a few things. See, my mind is still in the old way where I sit in these rooms and I have these amazing conversations, and I'm holding my breath and praying and hoping that it works out because it's going to impact and influence so many people. And Spirit woke me up and said, yes, it will, but it's not going to be where you do it and then the people see. You have to show them the conversations that you're having and the people that you're collaborating with and that are working fiercely in the background for them. And when you put this out there, just like Oprah, it brings people's attention to these people who need your attention. They don't need what, what people think people need is money. And we are getting to this space where people don't need money. They need your attention. We need we need people who can hold space because they have done the work of healing or they are in the process of healing, and they know who they are, they know what they have to offer, they know their purpose. And my role is to bring to these people the attention of other people. I'm a connector and I am a news reporter. So I'm a news reporter of a new system. I'm a news reporter of for world peace. I am the one who will bring usher in world peace. And it's not me doing it, but I'm showing you, I'm here to report live in time how world peace is about to happen. It's happening. I'm capturing it. So this is like one of the most fascinating channels you will ever see. It's really, really it's unique. It will blow your mind. You Not because of me and not because of um it's just a resonance. It's just a resonance of what it's going to do within you and to you. So this week I am going to see if I get a do-over, or if now that it clicks when I walk into the spaces, and I follow up on some of the work that I've been doing, that you, my dear viewer, I would do my part and I will bring it to you, and you will do your part and you will share it. And you will, when it resonates with you, just as I had the courage to come on here with no makeup and tell you about my reality. And this might sound really, really bad, but I literally had diarrhea. But because I'm a holistic nurse, I know that um, physical manifestations, when you throw up, when you have diarrhea, it's our brain is not only in our brain, but it's in our body. I'm a somatic therapist, so your brain, you have a brain and you have a body brain. And usually when our body brain speaks, we want to shut it up because it's uncomfortable, or because we have been trained by society to um like, if you have diarrhea, you're vomiting or you're in pain, you literally shut it. You're trained to shut the sensors down, to not feel it. It's because you want to feel something different. Well, as a holistic somatic therapist, I know that when my body has diarrhea, pain, it's calling for my attention. And when I tune into it, I get deep insights as far as maybe something that I did that was wrong, or something that I really, really, really need to pay attention to. So this morning, the expulsion in my body, and it's so crazy because as soon as my body expelled the thought, it needed to manifest physically where I expel it and in the form of diarrhea. And then because I tuned into it, I got such an insight and such a revelation that I came out here with my tea and my light my candle like I would do living my private life. And then I got a jolt and said, "Did you really not get what you're supposed to do?" And I went and I got my camera and I turned it on. And now we're having this conversation of what is really happening and what I am bringing for you, and the tremendous amount of value that I'm bringing to you as I allow my journey in building world peace, in building attention to world peace that is happening. Um, I'm reporting live this kingdom restoration. Um, I, I'm here to share my part and do my part, and the other part is I only have just a little part, but your part, my dear viewer, is to hold space for my new identity. And if you pick up on this and I'm not sounding like a crazy person to you, and it makes so much sense and I'm resonating, and you're the type of person where you're feeling like, man, I have I am doing such amazing work, but I don't have time to start a podcast. I don't have time to keep up with social media, nor do I even feel inclined to really do social media, but I know that I need to. And if your brain is where you're thinking, let me just continue building or working on what I'm working. And then when I have finished it and I complete it, then maybe I will hire somebody, or I will start a podcast, or I will start connecting with people. Well, I'm hoping that this message gets to you to let you know that I am your person. You need to reach out to me because I am the person that's going to shine light while you are doing your work. It's not for you to build a podcast. It's not for you to keep up with social media, because your energy, you need to focus on whatever it is you're working, the amazing things you're working. And if you feel like you're stuck, and if you feel like, man, I need the money, or I need the funding, or I need the attention to come my way for somebody to know what I'm doing, but I just don't even have it in me. I don't even have a following. I don't even have, any kind of social media, nor the desire to. You need to connect with me, because we're gonna do it. And most times, this. I, I already feel the spirit leading me, not just to women, to men as well. But the person that I am talking to here, I know so clearly is a woman with a lot of responsibilities. And you are in need of me, and you don't really know just yet. But when I bring attention through my platform to whatever it is you're doing, you're gonna get alignment. Everything's gonna flow. You're gonna get the money that you need. You're gonna get the attention you need, because that's my role as a news reporter. Just like a news reporter, or back in the day, somebody would find someone or discover someone. Um, I am not discovering anybody. You discover yourself. And when we resonate and we have our energies aligned, I am going to bring attention and intention to your purpose. And instead of you have everybody, which you should, you probably should set up your own podcast, and I will help you. And I have a team, and my team is growing. And so, but I'm the connection that you need. Um, and so that's why I came on here, no makeup, to talk to you, to tell you that I am your missing piece. And what you're doing is a work that is so dynamic and so profound and so spiritual and so sacred that you need someone. There's a lot of different platforms out there, but you need a reporter, you need an announcer that resonates with you energetically. And what it does is that through me bringing you light and what you're doing light, you're gonna blow up. And I know this is probably gonna be one of the longest podcasts, one of the longest shows, but um I'm just gonna keep speaking because something happened to me, and I have to share this story, and I don't want to share the story, so I'm just gonna be honest. So I come from a background where, let me take a sip of my tea. Oh, that's good. Gourmet tea, gourmet tea. Okay, so I come from a background where this is what I say. I care about people, right? But I think when you have the gift of caring from a very young age, you, by society, by parents, by the structures that be, you become groomed to be a people pleaser when you have this caring signature about yourself. And coming out of ministry, coming out of healthcare, the top two caring in such a intimate space, you have social workers, therapists, nurses, um, ministers of whatever religious or spiritual practice. You are in a high propensity work for burnout. And that's because a lot of times when society picks up on you, you're groomed to be a people pleaser. So, as a people pleaser, working in the service industry and then coming out into doing business for myself, when I would get so excited in meeting new people, having collaborations, just wanting to be there to support people, I would say, yes. You want to meet? Yes, let's meet. You have something going on? Yes, I want to support you. But I have a husband. I have a 3-year old. I have a life. I have a business to grow. I have family members that I'm now discovering for the first time. I have so much going on. It's just life. Everybody has so much going on, right? That there is no way I could possibly say yes to everybody. Even if I didn't have so much going on, I really shouldn't say yes to everybody and everything. But I'm coming out of this space where I was saying yes to everybody and everything. And I realized that that constant people pleasing was hurting my brand. So I formulated a few ways. Maybe it's not the best way, but sometimes when you put up a boundary, sometimes it might not be the cutest boundary, but you just know you need to do something. So I came up and I started, especially LinkedIn is my platform of choice. So I started saying, um, when somebody reach out to me, my default for everything is, oh, let me check my schedule and I get back to you. Well, when there was a nurse and she reached out to me and she's on this burnout prevention mission, and it's a God-given mission, and my heart is there, but my time isn't. So I responded with my usual, I will check my schedule and get back to you. But, that just gives me a little time to really research the person, get to know who they are, what they're about, and just so I'm not walking into the situation blindly. So I give it a day or two, and I'm doing literally, it's like evening, put my baby to bed, and I'm researching this person. And I'm like, wow, she's awesome. Like, I'm on her website. I'm going back and forth to some of the things that she has already created, aka, just put a disclaimer there. Um, Whatever you dream, it's really good to be in action and create and put your, even if nobody's out there watching you, people can find out who you are retroactively. So if nobody ever viewed your video, one it just takes one time for somebody to view what you're to go back and view who you are, and they get to know so much about you. Anyway, that was just my little disclaimer. Back to the story. So I went on LinkedIn, and I go back to people's posts because I believe in true connection. So I look to see what they're posting on, what they're passionate about, just to get a sense of this person. And here it is, the same person I'm researching. She posted, like, as I'm researching her, she posted, and oh my gosh, she posted about me. And she was kind of ranting, and she doesn't really have a platform on LinkedIn, so thank God for me. That, well, but it's okay, because I'm in the space where I'm really accepting myself. So it's okay if somebody has something negative to say about me. I'm a-okay with it. But I'm sharing with you, she went on there and she just talked about me, and she was like, I just don't understand. Why would you tell somebody that you will check your schedule? Why would you not check your schedule before you reply to me? And you know, the comments went on, and it was very disparaging. But when you know yourself, it's so amazing, because sometimes I feel like we have, especially, and this was a black woman, as a black woman, sometimes we see our sisters do things or come across a certain way, and we really don't have the courage. We see it, we know exactly what it is, we see it really hurting them. But and not everybody is here, but it's a really hard thing to come and say, this is how you're showing up, and it's not pretty. And it might just be my it might just be my perception, and it might just be my interaction, but I have to let you know. And I did not have a relationship with this woman, but she had to get it out of her. And I think it was very, very, I know she's like a high level spiritual being, because she had to get it out. And whether it's her or whether it's God saying you need to go on, she didn't look like the kind of person who would go on and write negative things on social media about a person. She did not say my name, very professional, but she had to tell her side of the story. And I needed to see her perspective, because who I needed to see, I needed to have that awareness of how my protecting myself and my people pleasing, my strategy, how it was coming across, so I could elevate that. And it was just so profound, because I said, man, I learned so much. I should have just said no. I should have said, I appreciate you. I love I want to find out who you were and what you're doing. At this moment, I am not available. But as soon as I am, I will get in touch with you. But my people pleasingness never allows me to say no. So I'm like trying to say it in a nice way, and realize that I actually am at the point where I can say no. I should say no. And um, it's okay if alignment doesn't happen in this moment, because if it's meant to happen, we'll circle back and it will happen. Well, I'm telling you the story with good reason, because she did delete the post. I did not ask her to. I publicly claimed it and apologized and explained, and I really did meet with her, because I think it was so profound what happened. But it happened to me so that when I am on the other end, and I feel the discomfort, and I feel the pain, and I feel like this was not right, what happened to me, I learned on two ways how to take care of that situation. So on the back end, I learned, okay, have the courage, because I wish she knew who I was, and she had the courage, instead of just posting it on social media, to actually let me know about myself. I wish she had which I'm not saying that she should have done. I'm just saying that um I'm signaling that we are in a different season where um we need a form of courage to tell somebody about themselves in the highest state of love. So when you're vibrating in the highest state of love, you have authority to express yourself and express your perception as simply a mirror. And I'll say it like this. You know how you have some mirrors, it's like flawless. Maybe you are at like the Four Seasons or one of those amazing hotels where the mirror is like you could see into your soul, it's so clear. And then you have reflectors, that you have some mirrors where it's distorted, or you have some mirrors where the reflections kind of funky or fuzzy, right? So we are all reflectors at the end of the day. And the 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 reflect when you speak from your perception without wanting your perception to be somebody else's perception, without wanting that person to understand and accept your perception. When you speak and say, this is what I am seeing, this is what's coming across to me, and you're saying this knowing that you realize that this might not be how it really is, or they may not see it. You are simply a reflection for that person, and they could take it or leave it. But you have the obligation to tell them what you are seeing reflected. That is the lesson that I learned from this lady. So this yesterday I had a meeting, and oh my gosh, I did, because I'm becoming aware that my connections aren't just connections. I prepared mentally, spiritually, and emotionally for this meeting. It took me like a good hour to prepare for the meeting. And the meeting was for an esthetician, and she's a black lady, highly educated. She rebranded herself, repackaged herself, reskilled herself, and she became an esthetician. And um, I'm just so proud of her. But I came, I have a business proposal for four people in this healing space that are not healthcare workers, for us to collaborate because we're gonna build each other, where we add credibility, we add education, we add pampering, we add luxury. um, we create I'm creating these holistic experiences for people's healthcare and wellness. So I'm doing these powerful collaborations. I'm only working with four entities, right? That's all. Four entities for the month of February. And she was one of them. And I had in my mind, uh, not an expectation, but kind of a vision of kind of how we were going to work together. Let me tell you, because I went to the spa, and I was like, oh, she says she has a nice spa. I haven't seen it, but she says it's in a nice area. And she said that she wanted it in like a certain way. And so I'm thinking, okay, this ain't no ghetto woman. This is a woman who wants luxury. We both are in Obly. So we're going for black luxury, black excellence. This is going to be wonderful. We're sisters. We're showing up differently in the world. We're using our talents and opening up a space. So I was just so excited for our collaboration. Give me a minute. Let me take a sip of my tea. Oh, that feels so good. I just feel it all through my body. That warmth. I take another sip. Hold on. Ooh, that feels good. Hmm, just pouring into my soul. Anyway, um, so I was expecting this big, beautiful, I went to the park, I worked with my energy just to make sure that I am, because these are divine connections, I wanted to make sure that when I showed up and when I met her, I was in the space that I needed to be. I was aligned, I was tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Went out in nature, just got my energy so high. And sidebar, sorry, we having girl conversation. Sidebar. The I realize when my energy is really high and I'm in purpose and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I have no problem with time. I have impeccable time management because it's like I'm working on a vibration where time moves with me. Instead of me trying to keep up with time, time is keeping up with me. So I show up early, which my husband would say is on time, but I show up early and I'm prepared mentally, emotionally, physically, every way to have this meeting with the lady. And here it is, our time to meet. And I'm there and she's not. And I text her just as a reminder, it's okay. Trust me. I've been not there many times, forgotten all sorts of things, changing my ways, not calling anybody out. But she's not there, so I sent her a text message. So then she shows up. Now let me. I have to tell you. I have to tell you how she shows up. And if you listening to this, girlfriend, I ain't calling you out. I ain't meaning to call you out. I'm just saying this because there is profoundness to it. She shows up quite like me right now, right? She shows up in um in her bed. Now, my girlfriend in Trinidad, she's telling me she, how she was like interviewing nurses and stuff. And oh my gosh, the way she showed up just reminded me of my girlfriend in Trinidad when she was saying how the customer service is so poor that she when she interviews, because she's a business owner, when she interviews for professional nurses, she was telling me how one showed up like in their nightgown, or just they didn't, so basically they didn't show up. And I'm not saying this to say that you need to show up like, because literally, like, I'm sipping tea in my robe in my living room, right? So let me continue the story. After paint the picture, she shows up late. When she shows up, she is in her bedroom, on her bed, and trying to position the phone right. She shows up about 15 minutes late to our meeting. Before, when I texted her that I'm waiting for her, she texts me back, I gotta use the bathroom. Now, I'm saying this because this was me, y'all. This was me. This is what I was doing. She texts, oh, I gotta use the bathroom. Sure. Then she shows up for the meeting. She's in her pajamas. She's laying on her bed. And I was like, oh, you don't have clients? And she was like, oh, I'm actually not feeling well. Listen, this was me. So I have to talk. I feel like I'm talking about myself. So she says, she says, oh, I'm not feeling well. So, the nurse in me, I'm already telling her all the holistic stuff that, she can use to bring wellness, or just at least support her immune system, as she is, because she's saying, I cannot afford to not be well right now. But I can tell that she has something on her mind, because her spirit is like she's moving, fidgeting everywhere. Well, I didn't finish even explaining to her the reason of the call or the reaching out. 5 minutes into the conversation, she was like, oh, could you be on hold? Because I'm expecting a call. She says, I'm expecting a call. And I say, you are expecting a call during our 30-minute time frame, which we're already 15 minutes into it. Well, then she takes the call on the same device and leaves the camera on, and she's having a spirited conversation where, as a holistic sickness, I already tuned in that her sickness is a physical manifestation of the drama that's going on in her world. Whatever is not right, it's mental. Whatever is happening, that she is physically manifesting into her being, um, and so then we talk, but I have other meetings and I'm moving by spirit. So it's like my day is planned where I can complete something before and get my energies right to move into the next thing. So she comes back on. Actually, I signal to her, and I text her, I have to go. We can do this another time. And then she comes back on and she's like, oh, I'm almost done. And I'm like, yeah, but I have to go. Our time is done. And um, at the end of the conversation, she texts me and she was like, I'm so sorry. I don't want to make it seem like I'm wasting your time, or I don't want to do this collaboration, but I have so much going on that started, like with life. I don't really tune into drama, but she had other things going on. And at that point, I realized the same courage you wish that lady had that blasted you on social media. Thank God you got to see it. But had you not searched, you would have never seen her comments. You would have never gotten that feedback. And look how much it has served you. So now, Casey, you have a responsibility where you don't have to go in debt, but tell her, reflect to her your experience. So, I'm still a people pleaser. So I had a really hard time writing this. Well, not really, because my true self is not really a people pleaser. I'm very actually very direct. My true self is very direct. So I told her, I said, in my experience, which I'm not lying, which is really my experience, I said, in my experience, I had to learn this lesson the hard way. But it really, really hurt my brand when I didn't have the ability to say no. Um, because what I would do is I would have people waiting on me. Trust me, this was like this became my brand, and it's not who I am. I had people waiting on me. I scheduled like 3 and 4 people at the same time. I had just like very sloppy showing upness in the world because I didn't have the ability to call myself to myself and say, what do you have energy, interest, and time for? And I would just be saying yes and showing up for everything, but it was in a very, very bad way. And it just put my brain to customer service in Trinidad, because she literally reminded me of a Trinidad KFC worker or cloth store worker, where you go in and you're like, what kind of business you doing, lady? Like, they would literally, you go to order and they would answer their phone and you have to wait. And it's just like everything that they do, whether they do it intentionally, I do not think it's intentionally. I think most of it is unconscious behavior. um, I think it's unconscious behavior. Poor customer service is unconscious behavior of the sanctity of another person. And anyway, I swear I was in KFC dealing with her. That was the experience. That I was in KFC back home, and the lady literally answered the phone instead of taking my order. Um, I know that that's not the brand she's trying to create. And I know if I am to do business with this woman, and if we are divinely here to elevate each other, I have a responsibility. It's not even a niceness, it's a responsibility to say and to tell her how she was showing up and how she is actually hitting her brand. And I didn't tell her what she should have done, but I told her what I learned that I should do when I'm faced with those circumstances. When you're sick, it's okay to be sick. You can reschedule. When you have things that happen, that life, you are allowed for life to happen. You can reschedule. When in the middle of something, an emergency pops up and you have to take one thing takes priority over another, you are sacred and you are sovereign enough that you can allow that to happen, and you can end one thing before you start something else. But that has, it comes across to the other person like, oh, they're rude or they don't respect my time. But it has nothing, I know it had nothing to do with me. I know it's everything that's going on in her world, and she's trying to make it work. But this is the thing I would say is, a lot of times that happens when you are a feminine and you really need to be running your business in a feminine energy, but you are trying to run it in the masculine energy. And you will always forever be in this struggle where you cannot meet everybody's needs. You cannot, everything is like going crazy and it's one thing after the next. And I have another video that talks about that. But it's because you are feminine, and it's because you need to honor yourself. And when you honor yourself and you realize this is a whole entire different way, even though the majority of businesses, I think over like 51%, 52%, some crazy amazing number, females in the United States run just as much business as males do. But females in the United States run their businesses very masculine, and that's not the energy of the future. So when we come into this space and we are intended, it is the intention for us to run feminine businesses. Not meaning just you are a female and you're a business owner, but it's an entirely different way of running a business. It's a way of running a business where I could be in my robe, 2 o'clock in the morning, talking with you. Um, and that's because maybe during the hours of 8 to 5, I need to be resting, I need to be playing, I need to be in nature. But now I have all the energy. This is not any imposition on my life or my time. I am just being led by spirit to be here and to be talking about these deep things in this manner. Um, that's a feminine business. Um, it's a very different way of running business. It's a very different way of showing up. And when women are not showing up like this, and when they're trying to grind like the masculine, um, even if you make the money, you will become very sick, because that's not the intention. But in this season, as a light worker, as an usherer of the new way of doing things, as a news reporter, I am here to say that um, you actually gonna start seeing things stop working. Things that would work, that have worked for women, where it produced a lot of income in the past. You're gonna start seeing that it doesn't work anymore, and so you may see people like to feel like. I'm telling you, the spirit is leveling the field where people who made millions or even billions of dollars in the past, if they're gonna try to do it in a masculine energy, it's not gonna work. It worked in the past, but it's not gonna work in the future. And very quickly, they're gonna feel kind of torn, like, this is how I know how to hustle, this is how I know how to grind, but it's no longer working for me. And it got them to a point where it got them to a point in life where they were able to come out of survival mode. But it was with intention for them to thrive. So, like, for example, my one-on-one clients would be these women who have high net worth, who did grind, who did hustle in the past, and I would bring them onto my network of practitioners so that we can assist them to get into this feminine space, so then they get where they attract and align with everything that they need, so that they could truly be mothers and nurturers, um, and they don't have to come out of that beautiful feminine space in order to manifest and produce into the world. So I know this was a little bit longer, but as I'm meeting with leadership, I'm meeting with very wealthy business owners, I'm meeting with executives of the future, people who are pioneering amazing things. I am going to bring you on, and I'm just going to have this really raw, um, just the nature of my work, the nature of who I am. I have to bring you into my life in a very intimate space, because what I am showing you is intimate. And the people who are building for the future, it's not your corporate America, your executive, stuffy suits, um, even though those people may have even they may currently be in those situations, those placeholders, or they may have had that experience in the past. It's not My interaction with them is not going to be in that energy. My interaction with them is going to be in their heart space, in an authentic space. It's not going to be where I need to agree with everything, their mindset, their philosophy, their vision. They're not going to need me to agree, and I'm not going to need them to agree. We're just going to resonate, and I'm going to channel it through my channel to you. And you are going to identify the people and the spaces that you need to bring to fruition all that you need to do. I'm going to connect you with people that you may not have known about, but that you need to know about and you need to be aware of, so that you can bring to your community, or you could bring value to them. So I thank you. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so right now. If we are not already connected, connect with me on LinkedIn, follow me on Instagram, or friend me on Facebook. Actually, I'll just be honest. Facebook have so many scams. I mean, all of them have scammers, right? But I'm a little bit more skeptical on Facebook than I am on LinkedIn, because if you are in my space, the best way for you to connect with me is on LinkedIn, because I am dealing with a certain energy of people, and I need you to show up professionally. Like, we don't always have to be professional, we don't always have to be stuffy, but there should be some guidelines of how we're showing up. And when people come and DM me in my Facebook talking about baby, and I've never even met you, like, that's just that energy. Just, I'm not judging them, but I that energy really doesn't resonate with me. So on LinkedIn, when people reach out to me, it's always in a very professional but friendly tone. That I resonate with that energy. So LinkedIn is my if you want to reach out to me, I'll just be honest. LinkedIn, you would get my attention way faster than if you tried to send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, or Twitter. Even though I'm on those platforms, that's just not my method of connection. So I'm just telling you, I'm just telling you, where I am. But I do want to hear your thoughts and your feedback. And I know maybe this might sit for a while, but I something I said you needed to hear. So let me know. That's another thing I want to say. um, engage engage in, so many people, they they have businesses, and they're out there, and they're posting, or they're paying social media managers, and they're posting, but they engage on nobody's post, they comment on nobody's post, they repost nobody's post, they share with nobody. You cannot do that. This is a time where the currency is attention. So you have to divert a little bit of your attention into something else. So if you listen to a podcast, I'm not saying you have to comment on everybody, you have to post, you have to repost everybody. That's not what I'm saying. But I am encouraging you to engage in other people, to engage in their platform. When I started 4 years ago on this YouTube channel, I used to say, "Oh, subscribe if you feel like it, comment if you feel like it. I don't want you to do it." No, 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 no. I didn't understand that this is the currency. And just like you would not go to somebody's store, pick up something of value, and leave without paying, right? This is very, very serious, which is so weird because I didn't care about it before. But just as in the old world, that would be called stealing, in the new world, when the currency is not money and attention, like people come in and just give you so much free stuff on YouTube, but nothing in this world is free. If you really understand how the life works, nothing is for free. It's a permaculture design. So you have to give to your environment. So if you come on someone's platform and you receive tremendous amount of value, and you did not either comment, like, share, repost, uh, tell somebody about it, and you just left it there, that is synonymous to stealing. You got something for nothing. That is stealing in the new world. And you may not have known, but it's coming in my spirit to tell you that is stealing. If you got value from something, you have to give. You have to give something of value, and that's called attention. It's the currency. So the attention you give is liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, or telling other people about it, right? That is the currency. So I'm telling you this because if you haven't been doing it, no shame in your game, right? But I'm telling you this, I'm educating you so that when it's all energy. So if you have a product, which most people do, or you have something of value, or you have something you want to share, but you haven't been engaging and not just spewing out negative things or critiquing what somebody else is doing, but engaging. You haven't been giving your real attention. What would happen is that you may see that you are stagnated. You don't grow. You don't have likes. You don't have um, the the space or the crowd, and it's just because you didn't know how to pay your bill, right? So I'm just dropping that little gem for you, that this is the new currency. If this video resonates with you, if something I said clicked or sparked in you and you listen, I've been rambling for over an hour now. So if you say, okay, you stuck with me to the end. If you stuck with me to the end of this video, sistren or brethren, let me tell you right now, you need to comment, you need to share, you need to like, you need to tell somebody about it, because even for the sake of fascination, even if you're fascinated, I don't understand how crazy the level of crazy this one is. Even if that's why you stick to the end of the video, because we don't know our perception and other, we don't know what we're reflecting to other people. So even if you're stuck with me for the past hour because you say, oh, go, this girl real crazy, that fascination still deserves a share. So people go to the zoo, the circus, wherever, to be fascinated, right? So even fascination is value, right? So I'm just telling you because this is the way of the future. But if something I said to you really resonated with you, definitely, um, please leave a comment. Let me know who you are. Let me know what struck a chord with you. Let me know what you agreed on. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you see things from a little different perspective. I would love to hear. And if you think something I said is like, you're like, yeah, that's my girl. We need to be working one on one together. You could go onto my website, preserversoflife.com. All my links to the social media, so it's there. I'm very easy to find. Just type in Casey Pacheco. You could send me a message on LinkedIn, or you could go right to my website and you could, send me a message there, because I would love to collaborate and connect with people that resonate with this message, right? We have work to do. Um, so I thank you for listening in. I am going to revisit. Well, it's not even revisit. I don't have to go back, but some of the amazing things I've done, some of the amazing people. I'm telling you, I should have had my camera on. I really should have. But I'm telling you here from now on that I will have my camera on. I will put my camera on and I will take you on this journey, and I will let you meet, I will let you sit in the room with the millionaires, with the billionaires, with the high level thinkers, with the humble, beautiful people who are working for our communities, who are working in the background, even in corporate settings, even in, people you would never think they do what they do. I mean, just amazing people. And I get to meet them. And it's my privilege. It's my fun. I mean, I bring out such beautiful energy in people. And I am just going to invite you to join. Okay, that's it. I ramble enough. You know what to do. Okay? Let me know. We will talk. I will be looking out for your comments. Okay? And I hope we do get a chance to connect pretty soon, and that I can highlight your wonderfulness. Okay. I'm going back to bed and finish my tea. Okay. Talk to you later.